Alright, okay. What's up? Welcome to my video, guys. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys a few dieting tips that I've followed, and that's what helped me maintain my level of I guess, slimness, keeping down my body fat percentage. Alright, so before we get started, I just want to put out there that I'm not a licensed dietitian or something like that. The only experience I have is I've studied personal training while I was in prison, and at the institution I was at, they didn't offer the program, but there were guys there who had taken the program and got certified, and they lent me the material to study all the stuff and whatnot. So a lot of this information I've gathered, I've actually practiced, and I got it from the personal training, I got it through some magazines, I got it through other people who work out or that are also into fitness. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so the first tip, which is probably one of the most important ones, is eating 4 to 5 meals a day. It sounds like a lot, but if you're already eating 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's gonna be really easy to add 2 more. So what this means is, if you're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all you gotta do is decrease the portion size and just add 1 or 2 extra meals. And by doing that, I mean like later, like right before you sleep or something, eat a bowl of oatmeal, or maybe warm up some grits and put some sardines in it, grits and fish. So that's how I pretty much eat 4 to 5 meals a day. I'll have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I'll either have like a bowl of oatmeal or grits and fish, or maybe both. The reason why eating 4 to 5 meals a day is good is because when your body digests food, your body's using resources. It's using energy. It needs energy to digest the food. So when your body digests food and constantly throughout the day, you're actually burning calories. So, in other words, you don't need to eat huge portion meals. If you had more meals throughout the day, your body's gonna be working all day long and burning calories, which maximizes your metabolism, or that's what increases your metabolism. Okay? Now, tip number 2, this goes hand in hand with tip number 1. Tip number 2 is the timing of eating. So this is important because it'll help prevent a starvation period. If your body, gets used to starving, like pretty much, if your body doesn't know when you're gonna eat, it's gonna hold on to like fats and carbs and whatnot and store them for later use for energy. But if you're eating 4 to 5 meals a day, consistently every single day at the same time, your body's gonna learn and adjust. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I don't need to worry about holding all this extra stuff because I know I'm gonna eat. I know I'm gonna get more resources in the next few hours or so. So timing is important. All right. So tip number 3 is to not eat until you're full. The reason why you would want to eat 4 to 5 meals a day is to have, is to eat smaller portions. So pretty much, you don't want to be distracted when you're eating. You want to sit down, eat, chew a lot, and just be mindful because it takes your body about 20 minutes to realize that it's full. So I would say, just eat till you're content. You don't need to eat super fast and stuff yourself and watch TV or be on your phone, because when you're distracted, you're not really paying attention to what you're eating. And sometimes when, let's say you're watching a movie, by the time you finish eating that bag of popcorn or something, you'll be like, man, I want some more, because the movie's still going on, and you're not even like mindful of how much you've eaten. I don't recommend eating popcorn, but I'm just saying, that was just an example. So I suggest eating every 2.5 to 3.5 hours. So pretty much, this is what my eating schedule looks like. I'll eat breakfast at like 6:30 in the morning. That's gonna jumpstart my metabolism, and then I probably won't eat till about 10 or 10:30. So 6:30 is breakfast, 10:30 is lunch. I know that's like a 4-hour gap, but it's like in the morning, if you jumpstart your metabolism, your body's gonna be burning a lot of calories. It's gonna be craving a lot of food and whatnot. And I feel like that's a good time to work out. Like I'll work out probably around 9 o'clock, and by the time I finish at 10, that's when I'll cook and eat. So breakfast at 6:30, lunch at 10:30, and then dinner at 4:30. So those are the 3 main meals: 6:30, 10:30, 4:30. So what I would do is I would probably eat between lunch and dinner, like a meal, and that would probably be like a peanut butter jelly sandwich or fish and grits. And then in the evening, probably around 7 p.m., 7:30, that's when I'll have like a bowl of oatmeal. And that's pretty much it for, eating that's 5 meals for me every 2.5 to 3.5 hours. And there's actually science between those numbers too, which, it ties into working out and building muscle. So I could go into that later, but yeah. Tip number 4, I avoid deep fried food, and I would recommend you guys do so too. If you can't, just try to minimize it. I started off with only eating deep fried food probably like once a week, and then slowly I started eating it once every 2 weeks, and then eventually I just don't even crave it no more. So the thing about deep fried food is, you ever looked at like saturated oil, like when it's room temperature it hardens up and it just looks nasty. I've worked in the restaurant. I've worked in food service for a while, and I see like all this grease and oil, and it just looks like it's bad for you. I know it tastes freaking good, but just as long as you have a variety of foods, like you're eating differently and all that, it's easy to stop opting for that deep fried chicken or something, or French fries and whatnot. Usually I always opt for a baked potato or baked chicken and etc. whatever. So tip number 5, I keep salt and sugar to a minimum. So let's say when you're eating and you add these condiments like sriracha or hot sauce or whatever, you're actually adding a lot of salt. So too much salt isn't good for you because it makes you dehydrated. Avoid processed foods because they use a lot of salt to process and to preserve the foods. So too much sodium is bad for you. It makes you dehydrated. And when you eat like these processed and preserved foods, it's high in sodium. And just imagine, like, what is all this extra stuff they put in this food to make it last so long? Like, think of like beef. If you put it in the fridge, it's only gonna last so long until it goes bad. But you get like a freaking like beef jerky or sausage or something, like what the heck is all in it? Like what is all this extra stuff they're putting in it and that you're gonna eventually eat? So a general rule is, the less stuff you put in your food, the better it is, the more cleaner it is for you. If flavor is your thing, like if flavor is such a big deal, just try to keep it to a minimum and be creative with how you cook your food and what you put in it. So yeah. And sugar is bad for you because sugar spikes your sugar levels. Pretty much after you eat something like sweet or high in sugar, it's gonna result in a sugar crash. And I know it's hard to give up, but to me personally, I gave sugar up because I was starting to feel pain in my teeth and stuff. Like in prison they didn't really have a good dentist program, I guess. If you're feeling pain, they were like, all right, let's just pull it out. Boom. So I just laid off the sweets, and I've stopped eating sweets for so long, or kept it to a minimum, that now when I eat something like a honey bun or something sweet, I could like immediately feel it. Like within a minute or two, I could feel it. Like it'll give me a headache, and then probably 10 minutes later, I'll feel like super drowsy and tired. Like it's crazy how I can notice these effects now that I'm eating more cleaner. So keep salt to a minimum and stay away from sugar. And tip number 7, I recommend drinking at least 8 cups of water a day. Don't drink it all at one time. It's just like your food. You want to space it out. So from what I recall, I didn't look this up in my notes, but I think your body only digests about 14 ounces of water every 20 minutes, something like that. So if you could drink like a total of 2 cups per hour or 1 cup per hour, that's good. A good way to tell that you're hydrated is, when you use the restroom, your urine is pretty clear, or it's not like dark yellow. So drink a lot of water, because it's going to help your body digest your food, and it's going to help circulate all the nutrients and resources throughout your body. So water's life. Water makes up most of the world. Water makes up most of the body. So keep doing that. So I got a bonus tip. Tip number 8, the bonus tip. Now I know this is about dieting, but I strongly feel that exercising really goes with dieting, because sure, you could work out and get shredded and whatnot, but the key is dieting. It's really mainly about eating, because I mean, look at me for example. There are a lot of dudes way bigger than me, and if they just ate right, they would look super cut up. Like, I'm not even that big. It's just the way I eat. I have really low body fat percentage. The reason why working out is also effective with dieting is because when you work out and you build muscle, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, because it takes calories to maintain muscle. So the more muscle you have, the more calories you're burning throughout the day. And so that means it'll raise your resting metabolism rate, the RMR. You could Google that if you want. So pretty much, don't be scared to work out and exercise, because I know mostly women, you guys are scared that one day you guys are just gonna wake up and be super huge and buff, and it doesn't work like that. It takes a long time to to build muscle. So I mean, if you're working out and you feel like you're getting too muscular in one area, then chill with that. So I recommend working out for both male and female. And if you're trying to build muscle to burn more calories, it's good to work within like I think it's like the 8 to 13 rep range, something like that. Somewhere between there. That way you're building strength and muscle mass. Oh, and another tip. Sorry, these are random. It's just coming to my head. So another thing, I try to keep pork and beef to a minimum. So I hear a lot of random things from different people, and a big concern is that beef is bad for you. And one of the reasons is that your body doesn't digest beef that well. And that may be true. I never looked it up, but I guess it makes sense. That's why if you eat beef, you'll feel a little more sluggish and slow and whatever. But in my opinion, if you think back in the day, cavemans and whatnot, they didn't have access to beef like that. Like, they had to go out and freaking find a buffalo or something and kill it, and then was it cured of meat, salted to preserve it, and blah blah blah. So in other words, beef wasn't as accessible then as it is now. So it makes sense that we shouldn't be eating beef every single day. So just like deep fried food, I would try to keep it to a minimum, both beef and pork. Probably, maybe once or twice a week, each of them. Mainly I eat chicken and fish, whatever. But yeah, just try to stay away from beef and pork, or keep it to a minimum. People claim that you'll have more energy and feel better and blah blah blah. I guess it's true. I've already been eating clean, so when I started minimizing my beef and pork intake, I guess I felt better, more lighter, more energetic. So yeah. Alright, I really hope those tips were useful for you. I'm pretty sure that you guys have heard many of them, and if you have, it just reiterates that this stuff does work. You just gotta follow the principles, these little rules that I've reiterated to you guys. So those are pretty much the basic, simple rules or guidelines that I followed to help maintain my low body fat percentage. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or concerns or any conflicting ideas of what I'm saying and whatnot, just hit me up, leave a comment below, let me know. And, as you guys learn from me, I can learn from you all. So yeah. Alright guys, take care, have fun, eat good, make that lifestyle change. If you're here just for a quick fix, this video probably ain't for you. But if you're here to make a lifestyle change, stick around, and I'll be trying to educate myself so I can educate you guys, and we all can live a better life. Alrighty, deuces.